Welcome to part 2 of the realistic landscape drawing. So in this tutorial, I'm just going to go over resources. If you don't have a computer at home, you can obviously take photos or print out photos and collage them simply by taping them or gluing them together. But I did want to show in Photoshop, if you want to download Photoshop, there's free versions out there, trial versions and so forth. You can basically use masking to kind of create your own composition and then work off that for your final drawing. So I have a layer here that has a mask. I'm just going to show you how this is created by turning it off and then turn on this layer here, and you can kind of see what's going on here. So there's a couple different ways you can mask. First, you want to just select the layer, and then you can use these selection tools over here. Like I could use a lasso tool, for example, and draw the selection, and then basically click on this square circle icon to mask it out. And whatever is white will be revealed, and whatever black is hidden. It's not deleted, but it's hidden. So I'm going to right click and delete this layer mask to show you a better way of working for this particular example. Not all examples are this way, but since I want, let me turn off the visibility here for a second. Since I want it to be behind the mountains here, all I got to do is paint it in essentially and hide it on the let go. So what I'm going to do in order to hide the mask is create a filled mask. So you do that by holding the Alt key or Option key on a Mac and click on the layer mask, and that will fill it in and essentially make it invisible. And with that mask selected, not the photo but the mask, I can use my paintbrushes to basically paint it back in the scene here. So what I'm going to do is increase the size of my brush here, and I'm going to use actually the soft brush right here. And so and you need to have white as your foreground color, and as I paint in here, you can start to see the image sort of appear, which is kind of cool. And again, with this, we're not doing super high-res composite, so if you go too far, you could hit the X key, which is basically just like click on this curved arrow here, just the hotkey to paint black, and paint will reveal it. I'm sorry, hide the image, or white will reveal it. So you can just go back and forth like that until you get your composite. So essentially, most of this is how I did this. There's a few of them, like let's see, like this one here. I basically use a lasso tool on this one to kind of go across the whole outside here. And I actually deleted the mask on this one, but so you can actually erase pixels too. It's just more destructive. It's better to use lasso tool. The other cool thing about working digitally is you can move things. Like the photograph for this element here was originally the other way, and so if you hit Control T or Command T on a Mac, you can right click in here and go to flip horizontal, and it will go the other direction, which is kind of nice. You can also scale up or down, just by doing that, and then just hit enter to accept. Again, I'm going to click in here and go back to back in history to my original layer comp here. Now I want to show you what's happening here at the end. I actually drew on the over the photo basically a merged copy just by dropping the opacity a little bit. I don't technically have to have this photo here merged. I could have just left the other ones on, but this way I can drop the opacity on it real easy. And then on this layer, basically just sketch out real quick, kind of like the sketch. I want to make some changes, so like obviously like here where I have the X's here, I don't want to have a waterfall here. So and that's why I have these X's here and here, just to remind me. In fact, what I kind of like the idea of is like a waterfall kind of going across these rocks here in the foreground, and then falling off in the water and kind of leading back here. So it's okay to change everything, on the fly, even though, I'm just using this as like a template. I can modify it and change it as I go along. So I'm going to have like an opening to lead through here, basically to get me the water to lead to this pond back here underneath this sort of arch bridge, which if I turn up the opacity on this layer, the fill, looks like the fill is dropped here. You'll kind of see the whole image again. So anyways, use photos. You can collage them digitally or on paper to kind of bring them together. And this is made up of multiple images from pexels.com. Again, I can't stress how wonderful they are as a source. But you could always take your own photos and do the same thing. So until next time, see you soon in the next tutorial in this realistic landscape drawing. And the next tutorial will probably cover some actual drawing techniques. Cheers. Bye.